To look at parent and child lot relationships, let's get started by putting some fresh new data. Let's create a couple of new items. First item, let's start calling it child 1. I think this is the item that's just going to have child lots, that is no parent lots. So child 1 is the name of the item. We don't really care as much about unit of measure. We'll go to inventory and make this item as inventory item, inventory stockable, etc. Important thing is it's lot controlled. So it has full controls, some starting prefix 0, starting number 1. And just because we are talking in the OPM context, let's go to OPM, that is process manufacturing tab, and add all the process manufacturing related attributes to it. Not necessary, but let's do it. Assign the item to the organization PR1, save it, done. Let's also create another item. Let's just call him as parent1, signifying that this item we are going to use for creating parent lots, and by the same token creating the child lots. So parent1 is the item name to be used for parent lot testing. All the process manufacturing attributes are there. Important is in the inventory tab, we are going to enable this item to have child lots. So while the child lot is getting generated, by default if you want the lot number to be generated, we can have the lot numbering scheme specified here. So we'll just say parent plus child, starting prefix is 00, and then there are obviously some lot related attributes that we can specify those here. So there we go. Let's assign this item also to the same organization, PR1. Item is saved. Now we have a couple of new items in our hand, and how do we use them in the lots? So let's go to the lot master screen and let's start creating lots for that. We'll first pick up the first item that we created, that is child 1. Remember, this was not supposed to have a parent lot, so the moment I tab out of items field, the parent lot field is grayed out. All I can do is create some new lots for it. Obviously I could have generated the lot by pressing the generate lot button. So I'm just going to create a lot called C lot 1. That's a child lot. By the way, I could have created the lots during some transactions, and I'm just pre-creating the lots here. Let's try to do the same thing for item parent1. Notice the parent lot field is lit because the item is expected or allowed to have a parent lot for a child lot. Again, it's not mandatory. I could have generated a parent lot by clicking the generate parent lot button, or I can write it by hand. So I'm just going to call it as P lot 1, signifying parent lot 1, and then the child lot is going to have a name P1 C lot 1. Okay, so that tells me that I have created a parent lot as well as a child lot. So we could use this now going forward, parent and child lots in all our transactions. One of the easiest transaction is miscellaneous receipt. So going to miscellaneous receipt, see, we start using the first item child 1 with an inventory. Obviously it is a sub inventory controlled, etc. So let's give all the other information. We are receiving quantity of 11. Important is as we get to the lot serial screen, the parent lot field is grayed out, because remember, this is a child item, not expected to have parent and child lots, just the child lots. So that's what it is. If I start typing a brand new number such as C lot 2, I will create a brand new lot which is just a lot. Instead of keeping all the time calling it as child lot, we just call it as lot, and it has the quantity of 12. A new lot got created called C lot 2, and it does not have a parent lot with it. Let's try to do the similar transaction for child lot enabled item. In our case it was parent 1 item. Let's say we received a quantity of 21. When we go to lot serial screen, we can see now the parent lot number field is enabled. The LOV, by the way, was showing both the lot numbers. So we just picked up the P lot 1 that we had created as a parent lot and gave a lot, the child lot, that is P1 lot C lot 1, as a lot number into which we are receiving, and the lot that is indirectly saying child lot now has a quantity of 24 or 23. Let's try to repeat the same thing, highlighting another thing. Here, when I directly went to a lot number field and queried an existing lot that had a parent lot to it, it automatically fetched it and saved it for me. So it's not necessary that each lot needs to have a parent lot, but if a lot has a parent lot, it gets associated with it in all the transactions. Continuing from the discussion, there is a possibility that we can create a hierarchy of lots. We do not expect people to be using it this way, but technically the system does allow. And to demonstrate that, let's simply go back to our child lot enabled item parent one and continue with the transaction of miscellaneous receipt. So as I receive more material, during that receipt process, I can create new lot. Notice I can use an existing lot as a parent lot. So instead of using a lot that was purely a parent lot, if I end up using a lot that is just a child lot, then what would happen is I would create a grandchild of the real parent lot. And the system technically allows me to do all these things. A parent can have as many children as it wants, and the children in turn can have as many children that they want. And that's exactly what was being shown there. We could quickly double check the same thing by making a query on the lot screen. So if I look for the item parent 1, you can see that P1 C lot 1 has a parent lot of P lot 1. So P lot 1 is just a pure parent lot. And we could also make a query to MTL lot numbers and say a similar data here. If you look, P lot 1 is a parent lot number. It has P1C lot 1, and P1C lot 1 is used as a parent lot for another lot. So on and on, we could create